that'd be something else.
That'd be the first year for this
Well,
one.
in light of the DDA, people may be going to the planning commission, that changes that whole
So
scenario
still
too.
the board.
It's still gonna be board.
Right, if we combine them, it's still.
Right.
So why not? And, you know, I said that the last meeting, guys, it would be beneficial to support them guys, to help them,
Did you guys,
support them downtown businesses and the people that wanna do it.
the council created the board to do this kind of stuff. This is the stuff that take care of the downtown area. That if you want us, if you want to look better or increase our budget for doing it, that's something that I personally think that should be done. That's the whole reason we started the DDA, so that you, so that it's something that would focus on the downtown area. And if you want hanging baskets, that's a great idea. Let's bring it to the DDA meeting and discuss it and see how we can do it, how we can do it better than last year.
So it's not just, you're not just talking about downtown though, right? Are you talking about the other
Well, there's only
areas
three,
around town at the
there's only
park,
3
or-
beds that do not fall in the DDA district. Now, if we combine
Those
the
three are
DDA and
starting.
planning, they all are gonna fall within that anyway, so that wouldn't be an issue. But the 3 that are outside of it are the ones in Mortensen's, the Masonic Lodge, and down at the park.
So you're forgetting about the ones coming into town.
Them,
Those
them are the
3.
signs that the garden clubs take care of.
Garden clubs take care of
Yeah.
all those.
These are just the downtown areas. I don't disagree. Would there be an option, maybe Larry, that you would think about? I talked with Candy a little bit, and she said that she might even be consider consulting on it. Maybe put this to the DDA, give them that chance again for a year, let Candy consult with them maybe. If you thought that the flowers looked the best when she did. She even said that she may be interested in coming back and helping to do them. You know, was it not something she had told me here just a week or so ago, but I think that it would need some more talk if that would ever happen. But, you know, was that something?
Is that council? I'd like to take it off the DDA's plate, just because we have one person we can call if something's wrong. Oh, this basket broke, this did that. It seems that we have one point person right there all the time. And that, and just centralize it, it just seems to make it easier to be able to call one person and to take something off of their plate.
It would still be one person though. I mean,
Well, it's gonna
if,
be, oh, the flowers look like crap, they're gonna go to someone on the DDA, and then it's gonna go to Cory, and then it's gonna.
I see where you're going with that part, but yes, but it's still one
It doesn't
person doing it.
necessarily have to, it could go to wherever we set it up. It's however we set it up to the DDA level, we could say, you know, you guys, this is the person we picked to do it, this is how we wanna do it, this is how we're gonna do it, approval of you to approve the budget for it. And we got
I say whatever we gotta do to
budget.
make the flowers look the best is what I'm for, but I am in favor of what Cory's saying, is I think it's great to support them downtown businesses and say, here, make Central Lake your own.
I think if we hire somebody outside, we have more teeth to monitor their activity and tell them if we're satisfied or dissatisfied with it. Because we can say, well, thank you for your time, we're gonna look
You're
to
right.
somebody next year.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Why don't we consider taking bids, including a bid from the DDA as an option?
Yeah.
Hold the council, whoever it is.
I just thought bringing it back to this body would simplify it. And,
You'd have more control.
and we put a big push on it this year. If it works out that way, great. If it doesn't work that way, maybe we give it back to the DDA or give it back to them if it does work out good this year. That was all. I mean, I'm not hung up on, I'm not hung up how it's done,
That's-
as long as it gets done.
It's kind of the beauty of the DDA too, if they fail, we get it back anyway, you know, or if we want to take it. I just, what kind of message are you sending to them now when you give it to them last year, and now you give them 1 year to try to do it? And maybe they didn't do the greatest they were learning, what message are we sending? We say, no, can't do it now. It's,
Are you talking hiring an employee or subbing it out? Because remember, if you hire an employee, you pay them comp, you pay their FICA wages, and you will pay their unemployment.
Not an employee, it would be a contract, I would think, not an employee.
Yeah.
Because we got caught in that.
Yeah,
The unemployment
they-
rules changed, and after so many weeks, if they sign up, they draw unemployment.
well, I can tell you that, we hired a part-time person just to mow for 7 weeks, and we paid almost $3,800 in unemployment. We're still paying $2,700 of that this year in our next budget.
So if you want to, I'm just reminding you, Joe, just make
Contract
sure you
was the way to
budget
go.
for it, because those things change, so. Whatever you choose to do, just budget properly for it.
And that's why the contract was such a good idea for us. Thank you for reminding me of that.
I leave it up to council. I mean, I'm not hung up on it either way. So
Well, even if we.
I just wanted to see it look better than what it's looked ever. That's all.
Your specifications are $6,000, hanging baskets that cost approximately between
$500 for.
$35 to $40 each.
Yeah.
All right. Last year they did not, what was your budget last year on that?
We had $3,000 budget, of which we spent 25.
All right, thank you.
How about we do this, how about we take the bids, let them bid on it too, and then make our decision there. I do believe that the contract is the way to go, regardless who gets it. If
Well,
he does, or we do, whoever, the contract is the good.
Yeah, you want the contract.
Let them bid on it.
definitely
sub it out when
Yeah.
hiring.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Larry, we just want them to look good.
Yeah.
And I wanna support the businesses in Newton, if they can.
I like the bid idea, that's legit, it keeps the DDA engaged if they want to, or whoever else, but if someone can come up with a better price, or a superior job, then.
Well, that's what, the problem with bids is you're bidding on price, you're not bidding on the quality of the work. Because that's what we did last year as a DDA, we bid on price. And we got 3 bids from local area businesses, and we went with this person, who had a recommendation from a business owner downtown. And it was for so much an hour, and it was the best price, and they did do a good job, and let's just go ahead with it.
If you, because I know you heard some of the complaints last year that they didn't like that.
It was also an especially cold year, there was not a whole lot of flowers.
But have you, as the DDA president, have you put any thought into what to do this next year, so that wasn't an issue?
We actually, last year, Tom Kenyon and I sat down, it was on the drawing board, on how to increase the number of flowers downtown. And hanging baskets weren't necessarily an option, because we didn't even know we had them. It's something that we never got from the village, was in information. about that.
Unfortunately, that would be my fault, if not.
Yeah, so we didn't know there was any hanging baskets, so we talked about doing planters downtown, we talked about doing a couple different things, and we went out and got bids and found some designs and stuff that would work. And then with the budget being what it was for last year, we decided not to move ahead with that.
Either way, their budget can be amended anytime you either put the money into the DDA and let them do it, or do assign it ourselves. I don't think it's something we have to decide. Tonight, is it? Maybe everybody brainstorm and get good ideas.
I'm 100% behind big looking flowers down there.
Absolutely, I
We
agree
do
with you.
need them.
You know, we went against Consumers Energy and putting the irrigation system in those poles. And they got upset with us, but they're there, so.
Might as well use them up.
They haven't been used for a couple of years, so my feeling is we gotta use them, since we paid for them.
Absolutely, they were
And I-
expensive.
And I think in order to make it a little easier to maintain, they've gotta drop down lower. But I think Sam and the boys can figure something out that would do that. So maybe it would only be a 6-foot ladder to get up on rather than a front end loading.
Is there maybe something that we could look at, and there would be a cost associated with this, but it would be a one-time cost, maybe putting a pulley in the cable system where they could be unhooked and dropped down, so there is no ladder. I mean, that's something.
I don't think you should have this up fully.
Well,
If you really want to do it the right way,
contract.
ask the flower group, or whatever you want to call it, to write an RFP. Then you put it out to RFP. We'll keep responding to them with certain specs. Or you just, you put it out as an RFP, and everybody gets all fancy, and then the proposal. And then you pick the best design, and you don't, and then you weigh it, like, 50% is creativity and 50% is price. Or you weigh 80% price and 20% creativity.
Right.
And that's how you review the bids. That's how you normally do a bid for almost anything. You make up your mind, it's RFP or RFP. Because they're a little more creative than
Yeah.
when you put RFP out.
Just one more quick comment, and I gotta say, I like the idea of an employee, it's an expense, because you, as Larry said, and Rob, you have somebody you can hold accountable. You bid it out, they give you a bid, what do you do if a month later they just don't do it? I agree, the employee has a lot of benefits, I'm just saying, it comes with an expense. So just figure the expenses, is it worth it? Hire an employee, if they do a bad job, I mean, you know the reality of it, you get rid of them.
So if we say we got 6,000, we actually figure 5,000 of that, because 1,000's gonna be eaten up in other expenses.
I never said an employee, I just said a contract with somebody. That person
Contract,
is-
yeah, it's okay until the job
No,
done.
that's not the guy that cuts my lawn, he's not an employee. If he doesn't weed whack, I get rid of him.
Right.
I mean, that's, if Cory has somebody that does that, then you can can them, I'm fine with that, but I just, I guess I was naive, I thought that it was the DDA and said, oh my gosh, there was never one point person, but apparently at
Yes.
there was a point person, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll end with that.
No, I'm just gonna hit my sticker
I do have-
Not bad,
I hate to do it since we're working on the budget. We paid for this water and sewer rate study because it keeps our system accountable and fresh. According to the water study that I have, this year, we should be increasing our water rates by 2.5%. If mine is accurate to what I have. Is that something that we plan to do? The sewer, I believe, is laying
How
flat.
do you
right there.
determine that, Joe?
This met the water and sewer rate study done by Rural Water.
So they're telling you that it needs to be increased.
We own the
by 2
program.
point.
We own the
But
program.
that's, you're basing it on their,
Well, we own the program, we put in all the credentials, everything that needs to be done,
Right.
the different programs, and then they project out for 30 years to maintain healthy fund balances, to maintain that system for replacement, the future.
data we've already got, you're just saying execute what that's saying.
Well, normally we would increase, I think over the last few years, and started this, it was 1%.
One thing we talked about though is if we do follow the plan, then we do a 2% increase 1 year instead of not doing anything for 10 years and then do a 10, 20%.
Right, this is on a yearly basis we do, and
You know, it's,
this
if
is
we
only.
don't do it, we wasted a lot of money on it.
Right. This report came May of 2014. Mike Ingles and Sam put it together for us. And this would show a water increase rate of 2015 by 2.5%. That is not figured into this budget right now. And unfortunately, I could not find my existing sewer one. Rachel sent them to me, but they come through kind of skewed on my iPad. So, I mean, that's something I think we need to consider as we go into, I mean, that's why we purchased this system, and, you know, as enterprise funds, the state says we have to be able to justify our rates, why, how, and all that, and we now have, both these funds are paying for themselves, they're sustaining, and they're building fund balances for the future.
But if you neglect
If we neglect it,
then
that's gonna fall short eventually.
10 years from now, you're gonna be a shortfall again.
We're gonna be back to where we
Then
were.
you get a 25% increase and you
Yep.
have people screaming.
The people are gonna scream regardless. We raise 1%, they're gonna scream, we raise 2.5.
I'm talking about my own bill. I can stand a 2% increase a lot better than I can stand a
Well, before,
10 years down the road.
25%.
I would recommend to make sure that I do have the most current copy of this, because I know there was one that came out when there was some proposals for the water boards on Herrick and the water main going down to Herrick and stuff. So let's, before we actually make something, have Sam go back into this and make sure that these are the correct projections. And then do we plan to follow through with them still? I mean, I would say yes,
Instead of kicking the can down the road.
instead of kicking the can down the road.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
still budget considerations on that need to be.
Yep, and then this all goes into that big picture. When we're doing the budgeting and, you know, we're looking at that big picture, are we gonna do these new streets that we have proposed $120,000, knowing that we may be tearing them up to put a granite, or a water line down to the park? There's a lot of things that come into play with this as we move forward. And I think everybody just needs to keep that in the back of their mind and remember it.
Well, it's the same thing you said a while ago, though, just because you budgeted for them, if there's construction confliction here, that's not quite.
Well, I just bring that to the council's attention. Should we have him go back in and relook at these to make sure that they're correct?
I would say so.
I would.
I would too.
Okay.
And then
Water and sewer?
put that in the
Rob, will
agenda
you, or
or vote.
Rod, will you get with Sam and see if they'll run these numbers again and let us know? It's on the very last page. We have that.
You can- Oh, and, yeah.
Okay, that will get reflected in the budget before our next meeting. I think anything else that anybody sees, what I would like to see us do is communicate at this stage, the budget changes that you would like to see reviewed. And hopefully, we can have this put together by our next meeting to where we can approve it. But it's gonna require some paper being delivered, and maybe an email or two or whatever, if somebody's got a concern.
So my list of questions I stick in Joe's box,
So I'm sticking up in it, or what?
in your box.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Everybody's getting tired.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm saying too. I'm gonna stop the discussion on the budget at this point in time. Public comment, anybody?
I'm just, when's the public hearing on the budget gonna be?
Good question, I didn't know that yet.
I mean, are you holding a special meeting for it? I'm just curious.
I don't know that yet either, I'm tossing it around in my mind, we may have to, but, so, we just get tonight. Anybody else have anything? Need a motion to adjourn? Chapman made the motion. Support by Conley. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Motion carried, drive safely going home.
Oh, I'm sorry, geez.